Hello there. Hello. I'm getting an echo, so let me turn off this volume. Okay, there. How's everyone? Hello there. It's so good to see you. I'm so glad you're here for my very first episode of Daily Reflections of Career Minded Women. Well, look, I'm Naita. I'm not Dr. Naita tonight. I'm not Reverend. I'm not here to teach. I'm not here to preach. I am here to just share some stories and share words of encouragement and just to talk to the ladies. I'm specifically targeting the ladies. So here I am sitting on my couch in my pajamas, winding down my day. And let me tell you a little bit about, the background, where this idea came from. But before I do that, I just want to again say welcome. Welcome to Reflections. Again, it's Reflections, Daily Reflections of Career Minded Women. And tonight we're going to be talking about setbacks. Yes, setbacks. And I'm not talking about disappointments. I'm not talking about, oh man, um, the beauty supply ran out of the hair that I wanted, or the package is going to get here on Wednesday and it's not going to be here till Friday. I'm not talking about disappointments. I'm talking about real life setbacks, those things that leave you in a spin. And and how we get through these things and how they shape who we are as career women, women who have goals and who are pursuing excellence in every area of our lives. So, again, this is not Dr. Naita. This is not a show where we're going to talk about the theories and the philosophies and best practices. We're not doing that. We're just chatting, we're just talking. So, again, I welcome you. Again, we're talking about strategies. Well, we're talking about setbacks, and I hope you have something nice to drink. You have your nice little evening beverage, whatever it is. Whatever's in your cup works for me, but these are my new cups, my new Fight to Smile cups. And we're going to just chat tonight. We're going to have open light dialogue, and we're going to chat. Yay! That's my opening video. Yes, yes, yes. I'm so excited about that. So, again, ladies, tonight we're talking. I'm trying to go to my YouTube channel so that I can be on board. But I guess I probably need to be on my Facebook channel in case someone makes a comment. But tonight, ladies, we're talking about setbacks, and we're talking about those things that knock you on your behind. I mean, just flat out knock you on your behind. And when I look back over my life and I think about some of the things that I have gone through, there have been many disappointments. There's some wonderful things. There have been some great things. Some great things have happened in my life, no doubt. But there have been some real setbacks. And, I can think back to some childhood traumas that, we could talk about, could definitely talk about that. That could be its own show. But specifically tonight, I wanted to kind of focus on a setback that occurred in my early 20s. And it was definitely life changing. It completely changed the trajectory of my life, the pathway that I was going down. And it occurred when one day my mom had been very sick and she had been back and forth in the hospital. They couldn't figure out what was going on. And finally, one day I came to visit her in the hospital. I had had a lovely afternoon with some friends, and I went to the hospital to spend the rest of the day with her. And the doctor came in and told me at that time, and this was in the, wow, this was in the early 90s. She told me that, my mother had full blown AIDS. And at that time, AIDS was still the gay man's disease. It was not prevalent in the heterosexual community. It was not prevalent with Black women. So when she said AIDS, I was like, what are you talking about? Where did that come from? And, we were still trying to understand that, how that AIDS was a blood disease. It wasn't a gay person's disease. So we were devastated, shocked. It changed the life. It changed everything. It changed the way she did healthcare. It changed absolutely everything. And my mother was one of the first heterosexual African American women to have been diagnosed with AIDS. So much so that they didn't even have proper health care for women during that time. We had to fight for, annual checkups, ladies, those annual checkups. We had to fight for decent health care. And she had great insurance, but the services just were not there. It was devastating. It was devastating. I can remember when my mother had to have, I think they called it a portacath, but it was a catheter that they had to put in her chest so that she could draw blood and she could receive medicine directly into her system. So, in the surgery, clearly, surgery by a man, she was laying on her back. They did the surgery right in her chest. Well, my mother was, my mom was full woman. She was all woman. Okay. So she was full chested, full breast, So, laying down on her back, the breasts, kind of go flat into, outwards to the side. So they just stuck the portacath in and, went on about, next in line, basically. And what happened was that when she woke up the next, after the surgery and everything, that when she would sit up or when she would move, when she would raise her arm, when she would sneeze, when she would do anything, it would bleed out. So that's because of, the size of her breast and the tissue and all of that. So I'm just saying all that to say that it was a devastating time. So we went through all of that, and I finally, and I was in my early 20s, and I was working in the court system at that time in Los Angeles, California. And, it was just devastating. It was a traumatic time for both of us. And then, it finally got to the point where I knew I needed to take off work. So I was going to actually be the very first person in the system in Los Angeles to have taken family leave take that time to be off. I was going to take an extended amount of time so that I could be with her. And I had to go through all kind of hoops to make that happen because it was the first one and no one knew what to do. No one knew how to approve the time. There was no paperwork in place at that time. Not yet. I was first. So, Wouldn't you know, the first day of my family leave, she died. She just died. And it was just me and my mama. I hope y'all feel me. It was just me and my mama. Okay, not my mother, my mom. It was my mama. It was devastating. It was like losing half of my body. Like half of my body was just torn off. And I think what made it even more traumatic was just that it just happened so suddenly. You know, we had been talking, and you know, she had said that, you know, she'd always talk about every time she went to the hospital, she was like, when you taking me home? When you getting me out of here? Can't you pull around in the back and get me out of here? You know, can you know, have Serena? Can't you have Serena put me in a wheelchair and y'all wheel me out the back? You know, she always talk about, you know, get me out of here. But this last time, she never talked about going home. And um, I remember the last day I saw her alive, I said, okay, Mom, I'm gonna see you in the morning. She said, She didn't say bye. She didn't say I love you. She didn't say any of that. But I was like, okay. I didn't think a whole lot of it. And again, that was the last time I saw her alive. So that was devastating. Also during that time, but I'm not going to, you know, take you down there. The bottom line is it was devastating. And as it ended up, we also lost our home because we were trying to take care of the medical needs. Although we had insurance, the monthly medical expenses were exuberant. It was just ridiculously crazy. We finally were able to get into some programs that would help, but it wasn't enough, you know. So we lost everything, but they let me stay in the house for a couple months, and then one day I got a knock at the door, and they said it's time for you to go. And I was like, well, how much time do I have? They said, you have to Friday. I was like, okay. I mean, I have a whole house, but I had been doing some preparation. I just wasn't expecting them to knock on my door and say you had till Friday. I was like, okay, all righty, I can do this. I can manage this. And as it ended up, things just opened up, and I ended up in Florida. And that was, it has been a time of healing. Oh, Lord, I'm ready to start crying. Ooh, I am not gonna cry. I'm not gonna cry. Let's see who's here. Hey, I see. Oh, I see you, sweetie. I love you. I love you. And I see Miss Sophia. That is my sister. That is my sister right there. And so I'm so glad you guys are here. Oh my God, I am not going there. But I'm just saying that these are setbacks that come in our life that will challenge us. But at the same time, when we get over and we get through it, those are the very things that give us the fuel that we need to continue on and accomplish great things in our lives. It's at those times that, you know, when we're going through some things and we're experiencing great disappointments, we're experiencing some setbacks, and prayerfully, we only have to have maybe one setback in our life, two at the most, okay? Prayerfully, that's what happens. But there are multiple disappointments. Life seems like it's about disappointments. But it's in those times of disappointments that I think I look back at the setbacks that I have overcome, and I'd be like, I got this. I got this. It's all good. Trust me. There are disappointments that come in your life, and people want to run and be like, are you okay? Are you okay? And then I can think back, man, if I got through that, oh, I can get through anything. Oh, trust. This is not going to bother me. I shake it off and keep it moving. And that's what I want to challenge, you know, ladies today, is that in those times of disappointment, that, you know, we got to remember those times that we got over real setbacks. We got over real challenges. These little minor things, you know, these little setups, little traps that people try to set you up in, especially in the workplace, these little isms and I don't like you and your light shine too bright for me and you're not a right fit in this department, child, please. Please. I've gone through real things. I've had real challenges in my life. I will shake us and keep it moving. You know what I'm saying, ladies? So that's what we did. This is the kind of stuff I want to talk about. I see you. Yes, yes, Sophia. I see you. She's saying, yeah, right, right. Absolutely, absolutely. And that's how it is in life. We just have to, it's a fight to smile sometimes. It truly is. So where do we find that strength to fight? We find it in the looking back over the things we've already been through, looking at the hurdles that we have already jumped over. Yes, jumped over. Sometimes we just had to knock them down. It's so funny. My daughter is a track athlete, so and she's a hurdler. So I watch, a lot of athletes into many races, many races, and it is amazing how some athletes will go and they'll go over all 10 hurdles flawlessly. Others will hit all 10 hurdles but still finish that race. Some will knock them all down, but keep going and finish that race. So it doesn't matter whether you nick the hurdle or whether you knock the hurdle down or whether you clear it all together. Just finish the race. Keep fighting. Keep going. You got this, ladies. You have this. And that's really, what Fight to Smile is all about. That's why we're here. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to reflect. So, this whole Fight to Smile movement is for career minded women who know what it's like to have to overcome challenges and overcome obstacles and fight against foolishness in the workplace as you continue to pursue your goals. You continue to move forward in excellence. You stand strong. You keep your head up and you keep smiling despite some of the things that come against you. So, ladies, I want to challenge you tonight. Join the movement, okay? Next week, we'll be on our Fight to Smile YouTube page. Tonight, we're on Facebook and we're on my regular YouTube page, but next week, we'll be on my Fight to Smile YouTube page. So, join me, subscribe. Subscribe on the YouTube, on the Facebook and the YouTube Fight to Smile channel. Get a cup or a beverage, an evening beverage. Wear your pajamas next Tuesday and join me as we continue to just have some real discussion about life and the things we go through as women who are career minded and determined to win. So I love you, ladies, and I challenge you today to think about something that has set experience in life that may have set you back. What was it? Think about it. What was it that kept you moving forward? What was it? Was it a vision? Was it a dream? What was it that kept you moving forward? I'd like you to think about that for a few moments. And then those are things that I recommend that you go ahead and focus on when you're going through some disappointments in life and you're going through some of the challenges in the workplace. You can make it, ladies. You can do this. So again, I challenge you and I welcome you to Reflections. It's an opportunity, again, to stand strong, hold your head up, and keep smiling. Thank you for joining me tonight, ladies, and I'll see you next Tuesday.